Questions about your pets? Looking for your next forever friend? We've got you covered. This is Pet Connection with Energy 95.3. Now, here's Erik Fox.
A very beautiful Wednesday morning. What's going on, B-Town? My name is Erik Fox from Energy 95.3, joined as always every other Wednesday here for Pet Connection with the amazing team at Kern County Animal Services. The humans are not Lexi and Sugar Plum, so if you're looking for Sugar Plum and Lexi and seeing humans, those aren't them, but they're Nick and more members of the team. How are you doing this morning, guys?
Well, I'm good. By the way, to my right, probably to your left, is Alex. And,
hello, Alex.
In front of us, on my lap, is Sugar Plum, and with Alex is Lexi.
It's actually the reverse.
Let's go and start talking about Sugar Plum, who's joined us today. What can you tell us about Sugar Plum?
Sugar Plum is, she's the brindle. Sugar Plum is, she's still young. She's only about 8 months old, but she is very sweet, very loving girl. She's been with us since November, so we always have a special place in our hearts for the dogs that have been with us for over 30 days. The longer an animal's with us, the more emergent it becomes that they leave. So both of these dogs are actually been with us for over 30 days. But Sugar Plum is a staff favorite. She gets along well with other dogs, right, Alex?
Yep.
Gets along really well with other dogs. Although she did get a little fussy here when Lexi was climbing all over her. But otherwise, she's a bit of a reserved dog, so she gets along very well in probably a more quiet atmosphere. But she's gonna be a beautiful family pet for somebody that wants an adult or a young adolescent dog that's probably going to get along with other animals as well.
Seen a lot of love and a lot of affection there as well. Once again, we do have two guests today on Pet Connection. Not the humans, but the four-legged variety on the floor. Sugar Plum and Lexi with us today. And what can you tell us about Lexi?
Lexi is another long-term resident. She's been with us since November. Lexi is about a year old. She is a mix of all breeds. She's got a lot of energy. She's kind of the polar opposite of Sugar Plum right now. She's got more energy than her slight body can maintain. But she's an outgoing dog. She's going to probably require an active lifestyle. Somebody who likes to stay active, not only with themselves, but with their pets. She does get along very well with other dogs. In fact, we would probably recommend that she's with other dogs. It's going to keep her happy and healthy. So, I mean, they're both similar in age. Like I said, Lexi's about a year. Sugar Plum, to my right, to your left, is about 8 months. They're both female. They're both spayed, I believe. Spayed and ready to go home. They don't need to leave as a couple, but they're both going to be different creatures in an adoptive home, whereas Lexi's going to be a little bit more high energy.
We talked about a lot. It's kind of hard with the Pet Connection because you kind of see the dogs for a little bit and they're in the shelter community. But when they get home, that's when some of their more personality is going to come out, right?
Yeah. Alex promised he would come on, but he made me promise that he wouldn't have to speak. So, yeah, Alex can tell you one of the big differences and one of the things that we tell folks that adopt an animal is that, an animal's true character, an animal's true behavior, dog's true behavior doesn't really come through until they've been home for at least 3 weeks, sometimes even 3 months. And the unfortunate fact is that it's such a stressful environment for a dog. Right now in one holding area, we have about 120 dogs in one holding area. So, I mean, you can imagine if you were in a cage with 120 other people, that would be a high stress environment, And so our animals are stressed out, and that stress produces some different characteristics, different behaviors. Some of them vocalize, some of them are fearful, some of them have anxiety issues, and it's all understandable. And so it takes some time for those characteristics to dissipate once they get into your home. So what you see while you're here at the shelter seeing our pets is not indicative of what you're going to see in the household. Much more often, it's going to take several days, if not weeks, if even months, for them to adjust to a home environment.
Once again, if you're just joining us on Pet Connection here, we have two guests with us today, two humans, two dogs. Sugar Plum is on the left, A1172448, 8-month-old female, and Lexi is on the right, A1171523, a 1-year-old female. And like you're saying, they're ready to go home. They've been there for a while. So what's the process to get Lexi and Sugar Plum home today?
So first and foremost, both of their adoption fees are waived. Any dog in our shelter that's been with us for over 30 days is a fee-waived adoption. So there's no cost to adopt them. You come down to the Kern County Animal Shelter, 3951 Fruitvale Avenue. We're open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., except for Wednesdays when we stay open late. We're open from 2 p.m. until 7 p.m. on Wednesdays, which happens to be today. Come down, ask to see Lexi, ask to see Sugar Plum. We'll do our best to try to set up a meet and greet as long as we have staff to do so. Introduce you to them, and if it's a match, if it's a pair, you let us know. We'll process the adoption right on the spot, and within moments, we'll help you load up either Sugar Plum or Lexi into your vehicle, and then you're off and running with your new family member. It's that simple.
And the tails are wagging for both Sugar Plum and Lexi. They know they want to get a home, and we definitely want to get them a home. We got the information once again on the screen. Sugar Plum is on the left with Alex. It is A1172448. And Lexi, who's chilling on the floor for a little bit, hanging out with Nick, is A1171523. And obviously the goal every single time is to get them a home. And luckily, a lot of our Pet Connection pets have new homes, and we want to make sure Sugar Plum and Lexi have ones as well. I know you guys are always doing great events with not only the dogs, but also with the community. Anything going on right now with Kern County Animal Services?
Probably much more than I can think of right now. Probably one of the most important things is we know that there's a lot of our pets here available for adoption, specifically dogs, that are perfectly well suited for a home, very friendly, very sweet, but they don't show well in a kennel sometimes. Maybe they don't get as much attention as we hope they would. Usually dogs that kind of look like Sugar Plum here, they just don't get a lot of attention, And there's also a lot of folks in our community who are maybe fearful or just hesitant or reticent to come down to an animal shelter because it's a stressful environment for people too. And so what we want to do is we want to try to, as often as we can, take pets out of our shelter into the community and show them in a different setting. So every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, as long as weather permits, we have an offsite events team, an adoption team, and we'll be at locations throughout Kern County, throughout Bakersfield, with a couple of shelter pets that need homes to try and engage the community in a different setting. So keep an eye out for us every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Like I said, as long as weather permits, we're going to have staff out in the community. So follow our Facebook, our Instagram, our TikTok, our Twitter, our YouTube. We're on all of the social media platforms. Keep us in your thoughts when you're considering adopting a pet, not only at the shelter, but out in the community.
And also another thing we talked about before, one of the great things about adopting a shelter pet is not only are you saving a pet, but you're also getting a little more information than you can sometimes with different avenues to get a new pet, right?
Yeah, we always understand that folks have almost an unlimited number of ways they can come into animals. Sometimes family members, sometimes social media ads, newspaper ads. They can buy pets, but there's no animal that's in greater need than shelter pets. So when you're considering taking in a new family member, especially a furry family member, shelter pets are going to be your way to go. That's why we try to get to know as much as we can about them so that we can tell you as much as we can about them so that you know what you're getting into.
Once again, we have two guests with us today on Pet Connection. Sugar Plum, who is now becoming camera unshy, is A1172448 on the left. And Lexi, who I think has tried to go out the door at least 3 times to get a home. So let's get Lexi a home, A1171523. Nick, Alex from Kern County Animal Services, always appreciate everything you do for our community. And really just you guys do so many amazing things. And we are so happy to be teamed up with you guys to get Sugar Plum, Lexi, and more of those amazing animals a brand new home. So we'll see you next time. Okay, guys?
Thank you.
It's been another edition of Energy 95.3 Pet Connection. We'll see you next time.